I'm Carolyn.
I'm Carson. Let's get rival. Hey everybody, we have a very exciting episode today. We actually are going to make this a little bit shorter than normal for the intro and exit because we are talking to Carolyn. Do you want to introduce who we're talking to?
Sandra, that's the queen.
No, come on,
Yes.
you could have made it a little bit better.
Sorry, good. I thought you already did the intro, so we're talking to the queen. They need that. That's it. The queen, girl.
I love Sandra because we were at the beginning of this week. We were like, what are we? Should we just do ourselves? We're like, no, let's talk to someone. And I was like, text Sandra. And so we literally text her like the day before, and she's like, what time?
Yep. That's how real she is. Like, that's how real she is. Like, you can't get that from Jonathan, who didn't respond.
Oh, wait. Actually, you should. So, Carolyn's like, let's invite Jonathan. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry. Carolyn's like, let's invite Jonathan. And I'm like, okay, well, sure. But like, let's have him on later. She's like, no, I'm going to invite him this week. So she messages him on Instagram and she says, hey, I heard you really wanted to do our podcast. She doesn't invite him. She just says, I heard you really want to do our podcast.
Anyway,
and what was his response,
you
Carolyn?
sent this to the wrong person, and now we don't. Yeah, it got weird. But
and then you were like, no, I meant to send it to you. And he goes, what did he say after that? Or did he ghost you?
He ghosted me, but that's fine. I'm used to it. So yeah, call me back, Jonathan.
Oh my goodness. That's
what? Am I supposed to be? But seriously, am I supposed to be like, oh brother, I'm embarrassed? I'm not. Cochran will call me back someday too.
I know. I'm just like, we wanted to invite him, not like why? You told him that hey, we really heard you want to be on our podcast. Like he don't even care. No way.
Well, now we know for sure that he doesn't. But it's always nice, in my opinion, to get people with like different perspectives. And what made me think of Jonathan was I had posted that cameo and we were talking about challenge beastness, and then you were talking about Jonathan because he's such a challenge beast. And I'm like, you know what? Why not Jonathan? I've never even talked to him in my life. But also he's somebody who's really not on a lot of podcasts. He doesn't really do like a whole ton of Survivor stuff. Why? That'd be kind of fun. We don't know Jonathan. Let's bring him on. But what I have realized, there are certain people who understand me right away, and then there's really a lot of people who don't. Troyzen is one of them who immediately, day one, he gets me. It's true. I thought that could be Cochran. Q, I can talk to Q, and it's just Ben. Like, there's people who just from day one, they get me. Jonathan's not one of them, and it's okay. He will be someday. Same with Cochran.
I'll ask him next time, and I'll say, hey, Jonathan, we would love to have you on. Would you be... Yeah, we'll figure it out.
In a normal way.
I think we have to separate it better. We're like, you ask people that like would align better with you, and then I'll ask people that like would I probably be better at asking. Because like Jonathan and I at one point were supposed to play pickleball or tennis. I can't remember which one because we were in the same area, but it didn't work out because I ended up not being able to go, whatnot. But yeah, we'll plan that better next time. Well, we are going to go take a break, and when we're back, we are going to be with the Queen. Okay, well, stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. We have the Queen, the Sandra Diaz-Twine, two-time survivor. There's so many times. Two-time Survivor winner and Traitors legend, Australian Survivor, Blood versus Water. Like, Sandra, I mean, I'm probably missing other things, so we're so excited to be... Did I get everything?
Mother of the current player on the Anonymous.
Oh, yes.
Yes, girl.
The Nina Diaz-Twine. I mean, like we're talking to Survivor, actually reality TV, like the legend. I would say. I mean, wouldn't you
And
agree,
I want to say the
Carolyn?
realist of everybody. And I
The
will say that. And I
realist.
tell everybody that. Because, you know, there's people where, like, and I'm not going to lie, before the Traitors, I probably would have been scared to, like, be like, hey, Sandra, I would have been because you're Sandra. It's the truth. And there's nobody else out there that, like, is as dependable as Sandra. It's the truth.
Well, I appreciate that.
No one else. There is nobody else.
Listen, I've always been a people person. Always, always, always. I do have a lot of friends, even from back in high school, that I still connect with all the time, that I stayed in contact with. And along the way, I guess I'm just like, I'm a Leo. I'm a leader, not a follower, but I love to be in groups. And I'm I'm a people person. Like it threw me, like what Carolyn said. Like I really appreciate that because I like when people say that about me. Carolyn, you made me feel really, really good when you said that because when it comes to the Survivor community or anybody like the reality stars in general, like I have friends
Yep.
across different franchises, and if you come to me and you ask me something or you need my help or there's something that you think I know that I can help you with, call me by all means. I won't bite. And like I said, I try to get along with everyone, and that's why it shocks me sometimes when people are like, "Oh my god, I hate Sandra." And I'm like, "The Sandra you
What?
hate is the Sandra you don't know." Because if you really knew me, if you really got to talk to me, if you were able to sit down and have a conversation with me or have a coffee or something to eat with me, you 20 minutes later it'd be a different story. You know what I'm saying? Like I've
True.
made friends of fans that have my phone number and can call me and can get a hold of me, you know? So I just like to have an open door policy, but let's move on.
No, it's true. It's true. No one, I can't, but like, and it's the truth. And you helped me so much with just even as like a resource before the Traitors and before you were such a, just, you had so much knowledge and were so helpful. And it's like,
Only as a faithful. I only have faithful knowledge. So all I can do is give anyone and everyone that asks me faithful knowledge. Now I'm dying to go back and apply things, like if I got to play again, apply things that Phaedra recently told me, like things to look for. So, but go ahead, Carolyn. I didn't
do
want
you
to cut.
think there's going to be another season? Do you think there's going to
I think
be,
there's going to be an all-star season coming soon. If it's not four, it needs to be five. So
oh, you think so?
girl, I already lost 10 pounds. I don't want to out there running up and down mountains, like for real, for real.
So you've been working out, like you're thinking like there's going to be another Traitors
I think
All-Star.
something's going to happen. I think something's going to happen.
Well, they have
So you
so
did,
many amazing players from the first, well, first two that
I
we've
want,
seen. I think there's going to be some amazing ones from the third one as well. So I totally hope that they do bring
Every
some of y'all
season
back.
always has amazing players. That's like Survivor. Like when people say, who are your favorites? I can tell you 3 to 4 people per season that I enjoyed playing, that I would have rooted for to win. Or, you know what I'm saying? So every season always has those people that stand out and that are really, really good.
can I ask you this about, because that was something for myself. I'm not a challenge beast, and I really just don't enjoy the challenges, to be honest. Or if we're talking Traitors, like missions, I don't like that type of like, like, and I really don't enjoy working out. Was that something, were you working out and stuff before Traitors the last time? Because for me, I was like, should I? And then I'm like, nah.
No, because when I got the phone call for the Traitors, it probably was, I want to say 16 to 18 days prior.
Oh,
There
yeah,
was
yeah,
no
yeah.
phone.
Then,
There was no.
Why did they wait till the last second?
Well, from what I understand, they were trying to get a hold of me since season one, but I post and I don't read the messages.
yep. You saying,
And there
yep.
was someone claiming to be my manager or my representative. And when I found that out, I actually looked through my messages, and someone has sent me a message saying, "Hey, I'm a manager. What's another word for them? They have another word.
Talent agent.
Yeah, like I'm an agent from here and I got this awesome opportunity for you. Please contact me or have your people contact me, you know? And that's what it was. And supposedly this person told the Traitors people, Studio Lambert, that I wanted all my money up front. Thank God they didn't send a check or anything. They were like, that's crazy, because that's not how TV works. And I know that's not how TV works, um, so anyway, but finally, Sharon Vaughn from NBC Universal ended up having dinner with someone from Survivor that still had my contact information because she started out with Survivor for years. She was with Survivor. And then she went on to other shows, and that person was like, that doesn't sound like Sandra, and I can get her
Yeah.
on the horn. And they called me, and I was like, yo, give her my number. She can call me whenever, whatever it is, sign
Exactly.
me the hell up. And it was fast. Like when Jeff says, I called Sandra, she was like, sign me up, sign me the hell up. I'm always waiting for the next thing, but that's the problem. I always get these calls very last minute, and then even well, let me not lie, because truth be told, one time I asked Lynn, I was like, why the hell do all these other people know that they were going to be on Survivor for over a month or 2 months, and I just got the call? I would have liked to go work on. She's like, well, would you have? And I was like, probably not, but still, like, I want, you know what I'm saying? So I
Thank
always
you.
get these calls last minute. So
Thank
this
you.
time, and here's the thing, I've never been at 185 pounds before. So I was at my heaviest. Right now I'm at 174.5 because I count my ounces. And
Damn.
but in over a month and a half, it's been a slow process. You don't gain it overnight, so you don't lose it overnight. But anyway, all
Mm-hmm.
right, I'm rambling on. I'm
Okay,
rambling
yeah, no,
on.
but I love that, and I love your honesty about would I have worked, because I got the, like, for me it was January and I had time. I absolutely had time, but I was like, it still wasn't. And then I would even picture myself like, Carolyn, you're probably going to struggle out there. You're not good at this stuff. Why aren't you wanting to work out and learn and be strong? And it still wasn't enough to be like, yep, go and work out.
Yeah, but when you saw other people there and you looked at your size and their size, you didn't say to yourself, "Damn, I'm the biggest one here." Where me and MJ were like off by a pound. I don't know if MJ was a pound bigger or pound, or if I was a pound bigger, but me and MJ were the biggest girls there. So yeah.
Wait, Sandra, is it MJ the one? Like, okay, I during Trader season 2, you said something that made me. I mean, I threw my phone. I was cackling because you said about MJ. You were like, I didn't know MJ was like 10, 12 years
Oh
older
no,
than
that
me.
was
No,
Larsa Pippen.
Larsa.
Larsa. Okay, that was my favorite quote. I
I died.
died. What do you know what her response like? What happened with that? Because that was
Well,
so
she said
funny.
something to me at the finale. When we cleared the stage at the reunion, excuse me, at the reunion show. We went to LA. We did the whole reunion. Um, we taped for like an hour and a half because Andy must have had like 100 questions, if not more, and he
Oh,
went through all of them. Like we were there for hours. Like,
really?
get ready, Carolyn.
You
And
better not introduce all of our names either. Carolyn,
girl.
boom.
And I felt good because I was like, damn, they asking me more than they're asking CT and Trishelle, and they ended up winning the season, right? Well, anyway, they cleared the stage for bathroom breaks, water breaks, and all that stuff. And Larsa is across from me, Tamara sitting next to me. Who was sitting next to Larsa? I think it might have been Janelle. I'm not sure, but Larsa was sitting next to someone. We didn't get up to go to the bathroom or drink water. Everyone else got up and to vape and whatever they do. Um, and she looked at me and she said out loud, she was like 10 to 12. And I'm talking to Tamer having a conversation. And I'm like, I look at her. She said, you said I look 10 to 12 years old. No, she said 12 to 15. Or she said 15. Whatever she said, I said, no, I said 10 to 12. And then I kept on talking to Tamara. And she was like, Jesus, I really didn't. I mean, fuck, now I can't even remember what all she said. It was brief because I really wasn't focused on her. And Evan still walks in and says it obviously bothered her because she went and got another facelift right before the reunion. But let me see. She said 15. I said 10 to 12. You look 10 to 12 years older than me.
Good for
It's
you.
so good.
It
It's
was
so
it was really really fast because see the housewives had already been telling me like, girl, Larsa was not happy about what you said and she's coming
Too
for your
bad.
throat. And I'm like, what? Like don't even come and don't even tell me shit like that because I'll go off. Like sometimes I'm really really nice and I'm really really tolerant. Like no. So when she said 15 and I was like 10 to 12, I said you look
Yeah.
10 to 12 years older than me. And the reason I said that is because although they do a lot of plastic surgery on their face, they don't do anything with their neck. And Larsa had a turkey neck, what they call a turkey neck, where it's really like when it's lumpy. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being for real. This is
no.
you can laugh, but I'm being serious. Like when you're sitting there, Carolyn, we're at the Traitor Castle. They give us but a certain amount of time to do our makeup and hair and everything. We're probably not going to even talk about Survivor here.
We'll do it next segment.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
this is fun.
So Um, so they would always have the housewives go up first, and then like Janelle, me, Trishelle, Parvati, we're just sitting there waiting, right? For our turn. When it's our turn, they're still in there doing
Oh,
curls with curling irons, hair, makeup, the works. And we just go in, we change and we keep it moving. I'm not gonna sit in front of a mirror slapping on 30 coats of lipstick when there's strategy to be talked about and
which there's no
conversations to
time
be
to
had.
do.
So you have to prioritize, you know what I'm saying? And that's where you see the difference between a gamer and everybody else.
And I mean, I was a little
Well,
bit of a housewife too, but I even noticed the like, okay, I never had a spot at the mirror. It was like people are, do you know what I'm saying? And it was almost like, can I, like, I need to like reapply some stuff. I'm not natural. And so would I spend like an hour in there? Heck no, I would be quick. But it was almost like they all had like their makeup mirrors and their stuff and I'm almost like, where are they getting these like, and I'm like, I'm done with this. I want to be a housewife too. Let me go up and do. So I started to, you know what I'm saying? It's, would I spend all my time up there? No. But it was almost like they had front and center. They had priority. And that bothered me.
Yeah.
would y'all say that Survivor, like for each of you, was Survivor or Traitors harder? And which one was more fun? Because I feel like both are separate or different. You're filming like really long hours and stuff, but then, Survivor, you're not eating, but then Traitors, you're like just exhausted mentally, right?
Yeah, I think the most fun I've had actually was on the Traders because there's not as much suffering. And the challenges are different to where on the challenges on Survivor, when Jeff says go, it's go. Where on the
Mm-hmm.
Traders, sometimes depending on what the mission is, they're like, make sure you answer the question and discuss it to the cameras. And if you don't, we'll make you do it over. Well, yeah, if they make you do it over, another team already finished because you're still, they stop you. So when we're running around the castle and doing stuff, they'll stop you for the cameras to do this and that and the other. So that eats away at your time. So you have to be careful. But um Survivor will always be the hardest. And the Traders for me was easy, quick, good money.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can answer that yet, but
Good point. Well, okay. Last
okay,
thing
moving on.
about Traitors I wanted to ask Sandra was: has your
There's a
relationship with
fucking bee
Parvati
in here.
changed? Oh, no worries.
Sorry, there's what?
Well, I mean, we made amends, but I wouldn't pick up the phone and call her like I would call you or Carolyn. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
still like we're cordial towards each other. And if I did have to talk to her about something, I wouldn't have an issue calling her. Whereas before, I'm like, I ain't calling that beep beep beep. That's me. Um, but still, I'm not gonna like, hey girl, what you doing today? Like, I'll call Phaedra and be like, how's it going? How's rehearsal? Blah blah. But I won't call Parvati and say, hey, what you're up to today? Like, no.
Right. So now y'all are able, you if she texted you, you would text back, but it's not like you're about to just call her out of the blue and just like check in. Like, yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, I feel like y'all have had such a long trajectory together. It's like, and this is what me and Carolyn talk about all the time. Like, you don't have to be friends with everybody. And like, I don't know, like there's just a part of that within the reality community where it's like at first everyone's like, welcome to the family. You have to, get along with everybody, and you can, like you said, be cordial, but you don't have to be best friends. And there's that difference in expectation.
Yeah.
But did you was it annoying to you that Parvati was chosen as a traitor and then you were chosen as a faithful, or like did you want to be a traitor?
Oh, who doesn't want to be a damn traitor? Like, you have an upper hand when you're the traitor, because you only have to worry about banishment. You control murders, and being a faithful, now you got to worry about banishment and murder. Like, you don't catch a damn break. And I was a
Yeah.
faithful the whole season long. So every night you're tossing and turning, like, are they going to get me at the banishment, or are they going to get me, at at nighttime? When I wasn't picked as a traitor, in my head, I automatically dismissed that she'd be a traitor, because in my big head, I was like, I'm the queen. I'm the two-time winner. If anybody's going to be a traitor here, it'll be me. And when I wasn't a traitor, I was like, there's no way that Trick is a traitor, right? But she ended up being the damn traitor. But it's
Yeah.
okay, because a lot of the information she was getting was from me, because people just wouldn't want to talk around her for some reason. Like she said, and she said it in her interviews, that I can walk in a room and I talk and people gravitate towards me and blah 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 blah. She comes in the room and everybody's hush mouth.
That's just like a natural it's kind of like, for me, I walk into a room and no one takes me seriously or respects me. um and for you, it's like everyone loves you and you have charisma, and for her it's kind of like people are intimidated by her, or what?
I don't know. They just, like, Larsha from the jump was like, I don't like her. I don't trust her.
Is
I
it
don't like her
her
smile.
faces?
They didn't like her headbands. Like, if you would ask different people something, they'd give you 10 things they didn't like about her. And I don't know why she just comes off like that.
I think it's the faces, and I don't think that she's always done that. But you know how some people just have like a bitch face, or have. I do. I think that's like
Oh,
part of it.
Sarah. People always were like, oh my God, Sarah Lucina has a resting bitch face. Even she knows it, but it's just natural.
Like, Parvati just looks like she's gonna literally, like, she just looks like she's up to no good in her head.
So yeah, like, but I enjoy playing the games. I enjoy meeting new people, building real relationships. And like I said, like, if me and you have an issue, an altercation, a disagreement, most of the time you started it. It is rare for me to be the one that started the drama, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it really has to be, and
I
then that's
agree.
it.
I believe it.
Well, yeah, you brought that up
And
because you said that there's some people that like said something bad about you. I'm like, I can't
I've
imagine
never. Yeah, I can't
someone
even
ever
imagine.
saying something bad about you. And if they did, then that just speaks more about them than anything else, you know?
I've
Like,
never heard anything.
Oh, but listen, I mean, when it comes to the fans, really, because not
mm,
every fan likes me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you guys encounter that too. There's no way every
Yeah.
single fan loves you. And
No.
you quitter, you always sit out. I don't know why they bring you back. I don't like you. You always got something slick to say, like, but it is what it is. When you're in this light that we're in, you have,
mm-hmm.
like Courtney
Yes.
told me, you got to put your big girl panties on. You can't block everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then I quit going to my messages. So that's why Traitors 1 never got a hold of me. But I guess it wasn't meant to be, because I honestly believe Traitors 2 was way better. And I
Oh
ended up on
God.
the right damn season, and we got 3 Emmys.
Like,
That's
way better.
congrats. That is a huge accomplishment. It was
That's where this all needed to go, because we started in one place and went to the other.
Can I ask one thing before we move on? Can I
yes.
just ask what your thoughts were on Boston Rob being there?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he was there, because he was just on Deal or No Deal Island. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, no way, there's no way he's out there. He's over there.
Yeah.
So that was crazy, but Boston Rob has the it that all the networks want. They know when he comes to play, he's coming to play, and you know, he tries very hard.
How do I get that it? What's any advice for
Shit, I
any of
wish
us?
I had that it. I've only been on what, two
You
shows?
do. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
you do, Sandra.
What are you talking about? Hold on. I'm asking. Like, really?
No,
You do?
Rob's had like 10 shows. He had Around the World in 50 Ways or something like that. Like, where you guys knew about that show, where he could
I
only use
didn't.
one mode of transportation each time in each country. So he went from boats to planes to mules to
What?
gliders to whatever. So anyway, yeah.
How do
I'm
we like?
surprised they haven't put you on The Amazing Race with Nina at this point.
Oh, I wouldn't be interested in anything like that. I'm getting
Really?
too old. I can't look. I have friends that have done the Amazing Race, and that shit is no joke. When they say, "Listen, you run from country to country, continent to
Oh,
continent," you're only on break
oh.
when you're on a plane or as a passenger in the car, and even then, you have to pay attention to the map or whatever. So, absolutely not. I wouldn't do that.
You're like, no, I wouldn't even consider
Listen,
it.
I watch House of Villains. They need to call me for season 3 of House of Villains because I'm a
But
fun.
Well,
you're,
have you been watching that? It is.
but
It's
Sandra,
insane.
you're not a villain to me. Like, I know they put you on the heroes versus like
It's
the
not
villains
about being
tribe.
a villain. It's about being a shit talker, and I could do that
Okay,
because
yeah, I agree.
when Fair Play was on season 1, I only caught it at the very end. Like at the finale, I finally caught episode 1, and then I zoomed through it, and I enjoyed it. And when I seen this time that it was going to be Richard Hatch and Wes and Mr. Spectacular from Big Brother that I
Oh,
know. Oh my God, I'm seeing his face, but I can't remember it. His name's not popping up. I was like, I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. So now I'm watching it. Jesse from Big Brother.
Yeah.
it's
Um,
funny. It's
so I
funny.
was
It's
like,
just
I gotta
not
watch
nearly
it.
as good as the Traitors. That's my first vibe watching it. Is like, which duh, it's not supposed to be, but like Traitors is. Oh my gosh, the set, the clothes, like everything. They put so much work into the editing and just it's like it's you feel like you're filming a movie or something. That
Yeah.
is like so bootleg.
All these shows have the same premise, which is bring all these people in, no matter what the location is. Then you have to have either a fixed prize or a way to make money, and then you have to send them to challenges, and then someone has to be saved, or you know what I'm saying? That's the winning recipe. You just got to put it in different scenarios. That's how Anonymous is. That's how the Circle is, Big Brother, Amazing Race, Survivor. They all have that same Traitors. You just got to put all these people together, and then there's got to be a prize at the end, and then one or two people standing.
Yep, no, it's
Totally.
true.
Well, we're
Okay,
going to take a break, and when we get back, we're going to be talking about season 47, episode 5, with Sandra, the Queen, and Carolyn, and myself. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things, such as, is Andy underestimated like Carolyn? Like that? Maybe. Okay, we'll be back.
first, sorry. Welcome back. See, I'm so bad. I can't do it. Welcome
Sandra,
back.
You did an awesome job.
I hate narrating, but what I hate the most out of anything is recapping challenges. Recapping. So I'm out there on the. Don't ever make me talk about a challenge. I can't stand it.
okay, but it was interesting this episode where Andy is like sawing the wrong side, because that did kind of affect things.
It did, and it's just who cares? What's your take on challenges?
For me, I could do without challenges, but we know they're part of the show. I'm one of those that I do enjoy sitting out and watching from the sidelines. I didn't
Yes.
realize he was sawing wrong until it was said on TV.
I didn't either.
What I saw, the only thing that I thought was funny, where they showed him like sawing, but more like humping, and I was like, poor thing, he can't even saw right. Why did they have to show him? if you go back and look at the clip, he's more like sewing and humping. And I was like, listen, why did they have to show him from that angle? Like they're
Yeah.
laughing at him. Um, he,
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that, because I was like, oh my gosh, I just have a really dirty mind.
No.
no, I was like, man, dang. But with those challenges, you never know what team and who's gonna pull it out and who does one thing and messes it up for everyone else. But when you lose, that's when people like to point the finger. Had they won, nobody said, oh, he sawed backwards and he was humping the air, whatever. But because he lost, then you have to bring it, you have to make a big deal out of it to point the finger. This is why this person needs to go. He screwed up the challenge.
Exactly.
But listen, Annika could be upset, and I'm sure we're going to discuss her leaving, getting voted out. But at the same time, she saved him a couple of weeks ago, and this is what she gets. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
When you play with these kind of people that are not necessarily your allies or that you can't control or that are very chaotic, and you leave them in the game, and then when it's time, when it's between them and you better believe they're going to do anything and everything to continue to stay in the game, and then you end up biting the bullet. And that's what I feel happened here.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, because if you think about it, like, Sandra, I think you're a very loyal person. Like, you stick to your tribe, you stick to your people that you know and trust. So, like, I can see from your perspective what you were talking about with, like, Andy betraying Annika. It's like Annika helped Andy out, and then all of a sudden, this is, like you said, this is how you pay me back. Because I also operate that way. I don't know if you've ever taken the Enneagram test, but I'm a 6, which is a loyalist, and so, like, I think that's ultimately why I felt so loyal to Carolyn and Jam Jam. It's just kind of like in my nature, in my personality. So, like, that's a very interesting thing to see how people like Denise are not loyal, and they'll, like, betray you at the very first second that they can, and even if you give them your idol, like, it's crazy.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so they had the, like, reward challenge, and then they went and had, like, and talked to other groups. And I found this, like, segment very
Oh,
interesting.
can we talk
What?
about that for a minute? Sorry. The
Yes, talk.
social hour. And I just was thinking, like, geez, because every time they say, like, where good things happen, I get a little bit triggered because I just kind of think about my time there and just being left out of the conversation and how embarrassing and horrible that was. And I think, like, I wonder if I would have been left out of this bigger group, or if I would have been like the weird one who no one talked to at that one too. But what a nice, like, just watching, like, all of them get along and play like the bean things and all. I'm like, wow, they actually are like having a great experience. What good. I did. I thought that's what I think of every time.
Okay,
And then
well,
I
I
think,
want
like, why
to,
can't I just have normal conversations with people?
Sandra, I want to ask you, because we saw that, like, okay, Tiana's throwing Gabe's name out. Sue is there, not happy
Yep.
about it. We see them talk about, Sue says to Sam, we think you and Sierra are running everything, and Sam shuts her down. Like, it just seemed kind of messy to me. Like, what, in your opinion, is the best strategy or the best position to be in that position? Because ultimately, the information you're sharing could end up precipitating to the merge, and pretty much, in my opinion, if you share something there, everyone's going to figure that out. Like, do you want to play that you're the underdog? Do you want to just say as little information as possible? Like,
I
what do
think
you
you
think
need
is the
to
best?
listen more than talk.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want a couple of tidbits, maybe if you've gone to one or two or three tribal councils, you can talk about the person that's gone and why they're gone without giving too much information. Um, or depending if you're on the bottom, yeah, I would say, well, this person and this person is running everything. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on what's going on with me in the game. Like a lot of the information, Teeny, she was talking about, hold on, let me try to remember because I just finished watching it too. um when she went back and told them that she gave them snippets of certain things, but there were things that she left out.
Yep.
But I would have to, I would make a connection with everyone. I wouldn't be playing, what's that thing?
Cornhole.
Cornhole, yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be?
I'd be over there socializing. I'd be with the three girls talking while they're
Oh,
laughing and giggling and making sure that I have people protecting me if and when I make the merge, That's what it's about. But at the same time, too, people say too much, they get in trouble. Like, what was her name? You just said
Tiana.
her name. Uh,
Tiana.
Tiana.
Tiana talking about Gabe, and then Sue bringing it to his attention, and they have issues just like Rome and Saul have issues. Nina, I'm doing a podcast. Bye. Text me.
We can talk to Nina.
She's probably checking on her dog.
Oh,
But you got to be careful what you say and who you say it to, because everything can be twisted. And
mm.
I'm glad that Sam knows that him and Sierra are in trouble. That weeks ago people have already been talking about them, and that only festers. It only gets big. They're still in the game. They're still in the game. Their tribe is dwindling. People are getting voted out, but they're still in. You know what I'm saying? So
What's your opinion of, and so basically the takeaway is like, don't say too much, but don't say too little. Like you can't be
it
like not
depends
saying.
on your situation, what's going on with you. If you're looking for safety in others because your tribe's not taking care of you, spill the beans, set them all up for failure. So when the merge comes, they're screwed. But like I'm gonna take you down with me. But if you're in a good position, then you want to be careful. You gotta read the room. You gotta be very observant.
So
Yeah,
what's your
and
take? What
you go ahead, Carolyn.
we are bad. So what's your so when Tiana goes back to camp and Caroline, so this was the strangest thing to me. I'm like, what is happening here? When Caroline is like, well, I really think that it would be a good idea to go and apologize for what you said. First of all, if I were Tiana, I would be like, I did that on purpose. I get the situation she was put in, but heck no. I literally threw him under the bus because I wanted, there's no coming back from that. It's just weird. So it was strange to me. I saw her perspective like, I feel like I'm being pushed to go apologize, but who the hell on Survivor apologizes for like throwing someone under the bus? It was weird.
She did, and let me tell you why she did. Because Carolyn was the only one to tell her. Gabe already knows. Sue already told him. Those three are probably together and we're talking about it. And she's the odd man out. And that's what happens when you go and bathe alone while people are back at the shelter, or you decide to take a nap while there's 10 people bathing in the ocean. When you ain't there, they're talking about you. So she realized, oh shit.
That's
Oh,
what I thought too. She said she's like getting up to go, and I was like, "What? No, you don't ever leave if you just spilled the beans about somebody else." Crazy.
I think it was just, I get, okay, that makes sense. It just, I've never seen
Gabe
that.
is
Like, I'm
no matter how many, she could apologize every day till she's blue in the face. It doesn't matter. I already know me and you don't click. I already know you sabotaged my game. I'm
yeah.
screwed if there's a merge. I'm gonna have to work my way up from the bottom, possibly depending on how we merge and how the numbers are. And you throwing my name out? Come on. So now
And
It was
then
weird.
while they're gone, Rome goes tribal council crazy within his
I,
tribe. That was so funny. He goes to Saul and he's like, and like this is where your relationships with people early on can really affect you later on. So Rome thinking he can just be a butthole to Saul at the beginning, telling him what to do, being mean to him about like I'm going to do this to you, you have no choice, is now really hurting his game because now he's a real target. He wants to get out. Wait, who does he? Wait, so he wants
Teeny.
to get out Teeny? Yeah. But the issue is that he really burned that bridge with Saul. And so Saul immediately goes to Genevieve and he's like, yeah, Genevieve, Rome told me that you don't even want to work with me long term. But I will say I was really impressed with Genevieve's response. Like right there, quick. She goes,
he
well,
told
that's
me
what, yeah, she was like, well, he told me,
that you
you
want
know,
to give it a teeny.
right.
He's
So
like,
like,
say that. So then it looks like like Rome is taking information, twisting it, and giving different things to different people. So now
yeah.
together they can turn around and maybe take him out. But at the same time, too, he's another one that they talked about getting rid of, and then they didn't. He's a chaotic player, which I love watching him play. Don't get
Yes.
me wrong.
We do
Um,
love.
and now, like when Keyshawn went home last week, um, it bit Keyshawn in the butt, just like it bit Annika in the butt saving Andy, because these people that you guys save are not in your corner. They'll do anything and everything to stay in the game, even if it's at your expense. So when you come across these players in your tribe that you don't mesh well with, and other people are like, no, let's save them for later. We could do this, we could do that. It might be your downfall.
Or it might be the get you to the end of the game.
How so, Carolyn?
Well, I think you took a chance on me, and I was chaotic and wild, and like, do you know what I'm saying?
Carolyn, for your first 3 episodes, had I been out there, I would have been like, she's got to go, she's got to go, she's got to go. By episode 4, I was like, I love this girl. Let me see how far she goes. But your
I
first
was
three
very.
episodes, yeah, you was a hot mess, girl.
I like. Here's the deal. Put you out there, and like, I'm not a normal like, and I can't. And just imagine like trying to connect. You can't force connection, and trying to. And I'm like, I got Sarah from Minnesota. We're gonna have tons to talk about. Nope. But it wasn't. It was very closed off, and I've learned that like not everybody wants to open up on Survivor. Not everybody wants to talk about their trauma and their history and are so an open book. Not everyone's like that, but that's how I connect with people and I bond with people. So me and Jan would be crying at night around the fire, talking about everything horrible and great and wonderful and bad, whatever, everything. They didn't do that, but I think like people wrote me off immediately based off, which I get. I'm like this screaming. I would be like, this person was cast to be the clown, the freak, the weirdo. I would write me off too. I get it, but it's like there's something deeper to me. I'm not just like the screaming weirdo. So thankfully they were able to show that like I have like depth. Otherwise, but it's not like the other like whatever. It's over.
Yeah, yeah. No, you
But I
got lucky.
don't. We don't want to get rid of the
Even Sam
freaks.
Rupert snoring at night. Let me tell you, was like, oh no, he snores. He's got to go.
So something as small as that, like, but
We're
we don't
not
want to like
39 days. We ain't listening to snoring.
we don't want to push the chaotic play like that because I don't want this to be a movement now because I feel like people have been giving us freaks a chance recently in the new era. It's been like, people have really been like, okay, I feel like I would have been like the easy first boot, old school. I do. It's like we've been given a chance, a new life. So don't get
Yeah. No, you play
edit that part out so
right
people
time.
don't get.
Like I said, the first 3 episodes are like, and then by episode 4, oh my God, yes, she's still there. Thank God, thank God. Oh my God, thank God, she made.
I'm trying.
Oh my God,
Sandra, that was me too. When I went to the other tribe, I was like, "Oh, we got to get Carolyn out." Like, oh, yeah. So I get it. Like that. That's definitely like how I felt as well.
Why? Can I just ask why I was annoying?
Well, here's why, Carolyn, and you already know the answer. So, Sandra, this wasn't shown on the episode, but Carolyn and I had sat down for an hour on the beach talking about why we needed on our first tribal, why we needed to split the votes in the event that Helen had an idol. Well, we didn't know Carolyn had the idol, and so there's 4 people voting because Sarah lost her vote, and the plan was me and Jam Jam vote 2 on Helen. Carolyn puts her vote on Sarah, and then Helen will vote for Carolyn. And in the event that Helen has an idol and plays it on herself, then there's a split vote. We can make sure everything goes smoothly.
Right.
Well, that wasn't shown on TV, but the reason being because Carolyn ended up just voting all on Helen because she knew that she had an idol in her pocket that Helen didn't have.
Why the hell would I want to be the only one going back to camp voting Sarah? Asshole.
But
and then I'm the only idiot who's gonna know. I was like, and I had told you I don't want to vote Sarah.
Well, you did, but you promised me that you were going to vote for Sarah beforehand.
Yeah, and I would.
So
and
then
I'm the third turn, and I'm the third turn of the alliance. So I didn't want to play that.
When we got back, she told me she forgot. She forgot the vote. And like Sandra, I had sat down for an hour with her. We promises made and so at that point, and I understand why she did vote for Helen because she had the idol, but I didn't know that. So to me, she's just being sporadic and it fed me into believing that she's as chaotic as she is when she's screaming. So I didn't think I could trust her.
Yeah.
I just thought it would be believable. that I forgot.
No, that
Anyway, I didn't.
totally makes sense. And people do like I've known of people throughout the seasons that there's so many plans hatched that they forget what the last plan was and what they were supposed to do. Um,
And
because
I thought it would be
a lot of
believable.
time, yeah. So
Like I
I
forgot.
totally get it, but I'm glad, Carolyn, that you see that there's a change in Survivor and that everyone's getting their fair shot, and that's awesome.
Well, I think we're kind of seeing that with Andy, where, at the beginning, at that challenge, he's like spilling beans. I think they're going to vote me out, like going crazy. And then now he's like tricking Annika and Rachel into his little devious plan of like, help me, I'm on the bottom.
I
Then
just
they're
knew
like,
that was
we'll
gonna
save you.
backfire, and it actually freaking worked. I was
I
like,
loved it.
they're gonna snuff his torch, and he's gonna be like the biggest idiot. And then Annika goes home, and I don't blame her. Look, I always told when I went to play Survivor for the third time, Game Changers, I had to
Mhm.
prepare myself because I was like, my torch is going to get snuffed, and I'm not going to know how to feel. Like I always would say, like if I turn around and I see somebody smiling, I'm just gonna, as I go to grab my torch, I'm going to yank them by the hair, like but you can't touch nobody, right? Because I am a sore loser. Um, but
That's
I had
fair.
to, like my husband would tell me at night, like, don't be no sore loser. You got to wish everybody like good luck, and I had to recite that to where it became like good luck, because I can't. You know what I'm saying?
And
I
that's
don't want to
okay.
wish you good luck. Fuck all of you.
Yes.
You
No,
So
know?
would
that's
you
way
have?
better.
So if he hadn't told you that, would you have kind of reacted like Annika, where she's first of all stunned, then she's like, nah, then she's like, crying, like
Yes,
I think
that's
she said
real.
best she went through
He
5
has such
stages
a
of grief.
genuine reaction, and I think a lot of the fans are like, like they can relate. People play orgs and get voted out, and it's like, and it's just a 2-day org for three
Yeah.
hours. Like this is not even real Survivor, so I get it. But I loved her reaction. It was genuine. She couldn't believe it. She was shocked. She wasn't sure if even Rachel had done what Rachel was supposed to, because where are these 3 votes coming from? Only the 2 guys raised their hand. Sierra's not saying nothing. So was it Sierra? Was it Rachel? Who was the
Yep.
other? You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't sure, but she wanted to leave there knowing. She didn't want to go to Ponderosa and talk to Dr. Liza for 4 or 5 days to try to figure out what happened. She wanted to know
Right.
right then and there, and
Good for
I thought
her.
it was awesome.
Yep.
That's very valid. I didn't think about how like it can ruminate like that, where you don't know if the person that you thought you were with you could have trusted. But you're right. She got it. She got a clear idea of, okay, Rachel didn't betray me. The other 3 did. Like she now knows the truth. She can figure it out at Ponderosa. But yeah, that like going to Ponderosa, no, like not knowing something or just like having to deal with the trauma of getting voted out. And then sitting there, like it's not fun.
Yeah, and it's not like she's part of the jury, so no one is going to come from behind and tell her exactly what happened. You know what
Except
I'm saying?
Yep.
She's pre-jury, so she's got to hope somebody from her tribe can explain it to her. And even then, is she gonna? That's only one-sided. It's only what they know to be the truth.
Yep.
So you really don't listen. I always see the real deal once it's on TV, because then you know who was talking shit behind your back, who was really your friend.
Mhm.
That's when you see it all come out.
Okay, well, Sandra, we're going to
Ugh.
probably wrap it up. But before we go, I want to ask you, who do you think, or give me like a few people you think have the most winning potential or you see going far and doing really well?
Ooh.
From the red tribe, Rome; from the yellow tribe, Sam; and from the blue tribe, Carolyn, Sue, Gabe, Kyle, Tiana. I'm gonna give it to Gabe.
Wow. Okay.
I
Well,
think I picked
Sandra,
Wow.
the 3 strongest, more adaptable, more ready to roll with the punches kind of players that can
yeah.
take any horrible situation and twist it around in their favor.
Mm.
Andy.
Well, Sandra, it's been so much
No,
fun talking to you.
Andy's days are numbered. His days are numbered.
Sandra, no.
No,
No, his days are numbered.
he's too chaotic. You can only take that, but for so long.
Andy's
Yeah.
more chaotic than Rome?
But Rome knows the game. Like for Andy to throw himself on the ground on episode 1, I was not a fan. I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure when I meet him, we'll exchange phone numbers and blah blah blah, and we'll Survivor family it up. But on that episode, I was like,
But real quick, but he's made progress. He's made progress.
oh, he's made progress. He has. He's made progress. But when it's time, let's say they go to tribal council again, it's obviously going to be between him and Rachel. Maybe now they're going to go next episode and tell Rachel, we kept you out of the loop because we know how tight you were with Annika, but we actually want to work with you. And if anything happens, we'll get out Andy, because he's really, they kept him around because he was going to be stronger than the first guy they voted out. And yet he's not showing me, that's why all that muscle is all a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have the strongest tribe and they still lose the damn challenge. So don't tell me shit about because they're strong players. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to hear. But anyway. All right, guys. Well, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Sandra. We appreciate you being able to jump on.
For our Survivor cruise, for us to have so much fun.
Me too. That is going to... So fun.
Once they fix Troyzan's face, we'll be able to...
Who is that person?
I don't know. I said, Troyzan, maybe they Googled your name and that's the picture that popped up. So I Googled his name and so did he, and the picture didn't pop up. I don't know where it came from.
Well, I'm going to say this. Can I make the flyer? Because they make terrible posters. They do.
No, that one was good. I like that one.
It's better, but like it's just like always blurry. Like they send me like 480p pixelated like flyers.
Well, if you have time, I'm sure... just make sure that with that current one that those are the faces you put.
Those are the people. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sandra. We really appreciate it. This has been so fun.
And there's gonna be a couple of people from 47 coming.
What? I never heard that because there's people from 48 that were wanting in on this, and I was like, girl, it's way too soon.
Oh, I'm excited.
There's two from here that we've been talking about this episode that'll be there.
Sandra, how can you?
They bought their own tickets. They paid for their own tickets to come.
Oh, I thought they were like gonna be, and I was like,
but they're gonna end up on the flyers later on.
I was, girl. Okay.
I'm so excited. It's gonna be such a blast.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you.
Stays queen.
Queen stays queen.
Girl, we are back with a question from who?
Okay. This is from Mary. And Mary is one of our patrons. So Mary asked the question, who is y'all's favorite winner from the new era?
Oh, girl.
Mine? Oh my gosh. Marianne.
I would say it has to be Marianne, and it's the truth. And the reason for it is it just was like it was one of those moments for me where it was like, first of all, we watched that win right before. I'm so sick of T-Rex handing. We watched that win right before we flew out. It was literally the night before, or no, a few nights before we flew out to Fiji. So it's like, I am going to go out on Survivor 44 having just watched Marianne win. It was incredible. But also it was somebody who was different and amazing in herself, and she won. And so it inspired me. I loved it.
Yeah, I know Marianne personally, and she is just as genuine as she is on TV. Like, just such an amazing person, and I'm so glad that she was the one to get that life-changing amount of money, because I think for her, and she's smart with it too. Like, I remember we were at Disney together with a friend, and it was silly, but it was like she paid for something for, it wasn't like in a big expense, but it was maybe like $20. But she Venmo requested me immediately. I'm like, this girl's a millionaire. she is on it. Like, I just love her. She's so great. Okay, one more question, Carolyn, from Mary as well. It was a double question. Do y'all get annoyed hearing how much the fans or alumni hate the new era or 26 days?
I get more annoyed of when it's other Survivor family members making fun of the new era. That's what I get annoyed of, because it's like, you know what? We just wanted to play this game. So it's not our fault,
Right.
like, stuff changed. It's kind of like it's annoying when, like, they make fun of us for, and what by they, I mean, like, the people who have played before, the old school players before the new era. And it sucks. And it's like, you know what? Like, we're still a part of the family too.
Yeah. Well, if you want to hear us answer some more questions or ask your own question, you can email us at letsgettribalpod@gmail.com, and we'll love to answer your questions on air. And if you want to hear more from us, including someone asked us, can you guys talk more about the 43 cast? We'll talk about that in our Patreon, so you can subscribe there as well if you want to hear that. Okay, last thing, Carolyn, what is giving you life this week?
Yeah, well, Carson, that's how you look at me when you're like, shut up. Okay, so basically what's giving me life, music. Did I already say? I've said that for 4 straight weeks in a row, have I not? Doesn't matter. Music, concerts, the energy. I went to some more a concert with Cindy over the weekend, and it's just, I love it. It was so, the energy, amazing. So yeah, like, if I can go to one as much as possible, like, yeah, I love it. Makes me happy.
Okay,
And dancing,
great.
dancing. And here's what I'll say. I will never understand anybody who's like at a concert or at a show or at a whatever, and you're not. I have to move and I have to dance and I have to be. And am I a great dancer? Absolutely not. But I really don't understand how anybody can listen to music and not somehow become a part of it. So I encourage everyone who doesn't dance to the music, get up. No one's looking at you. They don't care. Just enjoy yourself.
Do you think I'm a dancer? Like, if we were at a wedding or something, would you think I would be dancing on the dance floor?
Dancer.
Have you seen me dance?
It doesn't matter. That's my point, Carson. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm not like a great dancer, but I just like to move and like be in the good vibes.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. And what is puzzling me? I have a prop for this one. 1 second, I'll be right back.
Girl.
If you're watching, and here is my prop. I have become a plant hoarder, and it's one of my favorite things is when people come over to my apartment and they're like, Carson, your plants look fake. That's how real they are. Like they're so vibrant that they look fake. I have another one over there, but it's too far. But okay, here's what also comes with plants. Bugs. Yeah, I don't get it.
Seen mine.
Where do they come from? It's not like I leave my window open. Like, why are there so many bugs everywhere? And they like, and they're multiplying. At first there were like a couple. Now I have them flying everywhere, and I got this little thing to get them out. But like, where are they? How do I get rid of them? And I just don't understand, and they annoy the crap out of me. It makes me feel gross.
Yep, I get it. My house is full of plants. Like, it sucks.
So it really is from the plants?
It's, of course it is. And it's from, and then, but there's really, and my house is literally like a jungle. It is. You can't, like, it just is what it is. And you literally have tiny plants. So just.
Okay, so if anyone knows the solution, please email us at letsgettribalpod@gmail.com, because I really need help with it. Other than that, we're going to go and take a break before we do our patron segment. And if this is the end with you all, thank you so much for listening. And we'll be back for next week for episode 6 of season 47 of Survivor.
Bye.
Bye.